Life is hectic.
Some days are just a blur.
We're Jay and Laura LaFoon, and we help busy couples stay married for life.
Welcome to the Married for Life podcast. So we're doing things different for a few weeks.
Switching it up. You never know what you're going to get with Jay and Laura.
We so appreciate our listeners sending in questions, and we want to make sure that we answer each and every one to the best of our ability. And this week, I think we have a question that is probably very pertinent to every relationship, married or not, with your kids, with your spouse. This one is, I think, a very
This one is real.
Question.
This is real world. Everybody deals with this. The question is this: How can I hold my wife's attention just long enough to have eye contact to even begin a conversation without her looking at her phone for text messages or emails that are always more important to her than I?
Ooh. I mean, if you think about it, we all know people. We all know people,
no,
Jay.
No. We're all guilty of it at time to time, Laura.
Oh, my word. Whenever his phone dings, he's got to pick it up and see who it is. Oh, who is it? Is somebody who misses me?
That's right, because I'm so special, they miss me.
But this is, in this digital culture, this is a very appropriate question for us right now. We have just come back from vacation, and we were challenged by someone on our team to, you know what, put away your social media for this time that you're on vacation. Just don't even look at it. You don't really need to. And then he also challenged us with a book called Digital Minimalism, and we are reading through that right now. But we did, for those 2.5 weeks on vacation, we did not look at our Facebook. We kind of went on a Facebook hiatus.
Almost a whole month.
Ended up being almost a whole month, and you realize how much you don't miss it.
And how much you don't need it,
right,
and what it does to your brain.
And what we're reading in this book is that face-to-face conversation is much
different than connecting.
Yes, connecting is how you connect via texts and emails and all that kind of stuff.
But
messages.
It's not conversation.
But it's not conversation. And I think that's what this gentleman is dealing with, is that obviously his wife has her phone on some notifications there that pop up all the time. So when he tries to start a conversation with her, she gets distracted by what's going on her phone. And that can hurt. Feelings get hurt that way.
Well,
absolutely.
It hurts your marriage. I mean, we dove so deep into this topic after reading this book. Digital Minimalism is the name of the book. We'll have a link in the show notes. It's stealing not only your life, but perhaps your wife. Or your husband.
Or in this case, your husband.
Right. It's stealing. I went back and looked. I used to read books all the time. And in a 20-year period, from 93 till 2013, I read, on average, 25 books a month. Not a month. A year. But 25 a year, two books a month. And 2013 is the year that Laura got, Jay, what?
An iPad
Mini. And my book reading dropped off the edge of the table. And I'm trying to recapture that, because I feel like it was one of those things that really, I had it stolen from me. And that's what this gentleman is saying as well, is that his wife is stealing from their relationship and giving it to other people via her text and her email. And I said to Laura, because we've got friends who, you know, if you're in the middle of a conversation and they get a text message, they're like, they dive right into it. And I said, you know, when our kids went away for camp, we would send them away for an entire week. We would never hear from them. And we were fine with that.
We lived and they lived.
We lived and they lived. And, you know, they came back with all sorts of memories and fun, and we had zero communication. But now it's as if adults can't wait for an hour to text back with their adult children. That's just ridiculous.
And it's rude. It's rude to the person that you're having a conversation with, or that you're sitting in a group with, or that you're, you know, out to dinner with, whatever it is, and then you're distracted by your phone. What you're saying is that what I'm doing over here is way more important than you. And this other person that I'm talking with or texting with or messaging with is way more important than you. And in our marriages, that is devastating. That is devastating to your marriage. It's devastating to any relationship. And it's really something that in this culture that we live in, we have got to start dealing with. We have, as a result of reading this Digital Minimalism, not only did we cut out our social media reading but I used to carry my phone right in my wallet. I had a wallet that had my phone right in it with my credit cards and my cash, carried it everywhere I went. Well, I took it out of there. I'm making my own wallet, putting my phone in my purse and not carrying it with me all the time because I don't need to. I don't need to carry it when I go into the gym. Unless I'm listening to podcasts, but I don't need to carry it everywhere I go. That says I can't live without it, and I can't live without that digital connectivity that we can all live without, that we need to start putting parameters on,
right,
so that we can get back those face-to-face human relationships.
One of the things that we do also is we put our phones go into the charging stand at 9 o'clock at night, and they don't get picked up again until 8 o'clock the next morning. Now, if it were an emergency, we have special rules in place for emergencies. But bottom line is, for this gentleman, I think if you are in this position where your spouse is paying more attention to the phone than to you, you've got to have a serious sit-down conversation that may involve getting a third-party counselor involved. It could be that serious. If one spouse doesn't see it as a problem and the other spouse is like, no, this is a huge problem, chances are you're going to need to see a counselor, because you're really... it's like arguing with a brick wall if they don't think they're doing anything wrong. It's just my phone. Well, yes, it's your phone, but it's robbing us of intimate conversation together. And this guy's not even saying, hey, it's not typical guy, hey, I want to have a conversation so we can have a good love life. No, he's just like, I just want to have a conversation because I'm a guy that likes conversation. So many people, many marriages are impacted by this. It was a great question. The first thing you got to do is have an honest conversation about what's realistic and what's not, and then move from there, create rules and parameters. We're not going to tell you what rules and parameters you need to put for you. You're big kids now. You can do that for yourself. But we do think that every marriage needs social screen, however you want to say it. Digital rules.
Boundaries and rules. Absolutely. Hey, thanks for your questions. We love getting your questions. We love answering your questions. So send those questions if you have them to podcast@jayandlaura.com, and we will answer your questions. Thanks for joining us.